Hello everyone, this is PJB 2006 here, and happy 250 years of America. Though for this year's 4th of July, I would kinda like to take this moment to let all of you know about something big that is soon going to be happening this July of 2026 for my family. And this news had recently came to me as a note that was written to me by my mom on the Saturday morning of January 17th, 2026. So that way she would allow me to have a chance to better absorb and understand what will soon be happening this summer. And my mom did understand that it will sometimes often be difficult to understand and feel okay about. But my parents needed me to know about this information so that I could start getting used to a very big change in all my family's lives. For you see, the jobs that my parents have had in New Jersey had recently come to a close at the end of June 2026. My parents also stated that it will be difficult to find new jobs in the state of New Jersey where my parents would be earning similar salaries that my parents have been used to earning. And with the high cost in general of living in the area of the New Jersey state, my parents have ultimately made a decision for the family that we will be permanently moving up to Massachusetts to live with my grandmother this summer. My parents will be selling the house that I have lived in ever since the day I was born in the town of Livingston, New Jersey, to a new family that my parents said will be sure to love the house for as long as my family has, ever since my parents first moved here in 2001, which was a year after they got married. Now, I do not mean to go off topic, but it was also a year in which you may recognize was the year the infamous 9/11 terrorist attacks took place, which destroyed the Twin Towers of the New York World Trade Center. Well, back to the news about the selling of my once beloved childhood home, of course. My parents are not really quite sure who this so-called new family will be yet. Though my parents are sure that the next new owners of my childhood home in Livingston, New Jersey are going to take very good care of it and will have lots of happy memories that they will make during their time living there. And my parents are sure they will get updates from their friends who still live in Livingston, New Jersey about my old childhood house's current status. So that way there will be nothing to worry about. And what my parents also stated, that ultimately making a decision to move up to Massachusetts to live with my grandmother allows my family to have more financial flexibility. And my parents will be able to have enough money from the sale of my childhood home to help support my grandmother. Ever since her 81st birthday that was recently celebrated back in January of this year, she is still getting older and still needs a lot of my family's support. And I do not want my precious grandmother to live in constant fear of being helpless, ever since the tragic and untimely loss of her husband on the night of October 8th, 2021. And also, my parents have even stated that my uncle can help my family help me get a new job up in Massachusetts. And that my uncle has lots of connections to people who are looking for someone just like me to help them. And over the coming weeks, I have noticed my parents getting rid of a lot of things that I have had in my house that I have had for many years that we didn't really need anymore. Though it was kind of sad, but I was sometimes quite willing to give away or get rid of some of the things that I have had in my house for many years that I didn't need anymore. My parents have also stated that I will be able to take all of the things with me that have been in my bedroom of my old childhood home in Livingston, New Jersey, up to my new bedroom at my grandmother's house in Tingsboro, Massachusetts. While the rest of my family's belongings will be put into storage close to my grandmother's house, and my parents have also stated that they will reassure me that nothing will ever be left behind in the moving process. Though my parents were always available to answer any questions that I may have as we proceed to move forward with this life-changing event. And my parents did understand that it was okay for me to feel upset about this news. But my parents did tell me that this whole moving thing was a really big change. Though I know this has never even happened to me before in all my life, And I always thought that the process of taking all of the things that I could lying around my room and relocating to another home sounds like an incredibly nerve-wracking and daunting task. But my parents do know that I, as now being a mature 20-year-old young man, am up to the challenge of moving up to Massachusetts with them just so that they could start a whole new chapter in my life. So yes, I know it can be kind of sad to say goodbye to your childhood home that you once knew all your life once and for all. But my parents did state to me that the selling of my precious childhood home in New Jersey was the ultimate sacrifice that they were confidently willing enough to make. Though I just hope this will all work out well for me and my family in the end. Goodbye, New Jersey. I will never forget you, no matter what. And as always, long live Livingston!